What up, YouTube? So today's gonna be part 2 of the Toyota mr2 k20z1 swap BARD, and today we're gonna be pretty much taking apart this RSX, and this is the donor car for the mr2, and we're gonna start getting the motors taken out and pretty much get it ready so we can get it into the mr2, and then well, I'm just going to go over just a quick way of how to drop it. If you really want to actually see how to drop an RSX motor, I have a couple other videos on my channel that you guys can see step by step. Today I'm just going to pretty much just drop it, and then we'll check out the mr2 that should be here today as well, and we'll check that out, let you guys see the motor, and then we'll start dropping that engine as well on this video. So I'm gonna go ahead and start knocking out this motor and we'll come back. Alright, so we pretty much got all the main little things done. So we got the shifter mechanism. There's like 3 10s right there, and then 2 cotter pins. You got the battery, the air intake. There's usually a 10 right here, a 10 right here, and then a 10 that connects to this mount right here. It's actually a long bolt. It's this one right here actually. Yeah, so I got that. I got 2 10s on the throttle cable right here, so I can get that out. And then I just did the 2 10s for the IV tech cover. There's like at least like 6 10s right here to take off. We got the T bracket, and then there's a 10 down there on the T bracket next to the support to get the whole T bracket off with this wire. Obviously it's connected as well, so I did that. Right now I'm gonna get to the condenser, some 10s right here. I'm gonna start disconnecting the housing because I like to drop the motor from the bottom, so I like to have all this disconnected. There's a little 10 right here. Also, the slave cylinder is out. There's just 2 12s on the slave cylinder, and then a 10 back here that's on the bracket of the transmission, and that comes right out. We'll also be probably getting to the AC lines, taking this reservoir off, and probably taking the radiator hoses so we can get to all the stuff at the bottom, the radiator alternator. I'm gonna take all that off too with I'll see if I can reach the AC as well. It just makes it a lot easier when you drop the motor out to have less components. Yeah, so right now I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and then we got 2 more 8mm or Phillips. We'll take this off, that'll disconnect the harness, and then like I said, we'll do all the AC lines. There's like 2 10mm for the pump for the 2 lines. We'll get that, and then get a crescent and some pliers to take that off. Then we'll come back and mess with the rest of the stuff on top of the engine bay. Alright, so quick recap. We got the battery tray out real fast, the radiator and the fans, the AC lines. Like I said, there's 2 10s right there. I also went ahead and started doing the evap, the gas, and the brake booster. So those are disconnected right now. I need to do the radiator hoses right here in the rear, or the heater hoses. I'm gonna do those next, and then we'll start taking off the harness from right here. These 2 clips have to come off, and then there's one at the bottom right there. And then we can start disconnecting the ECU, which, let's see, hopefully it's not locked. Gotta get inside here, and there's some clips down here right there, so we got to do 3 of these. You just like push them in, see if it'll come off. Alright, so we got our E-plug right here. See if we can just connect this real quick. And then we got A and B. Actually, the A plug and the E plug can actually go into the same port, so when putting it back together, make sure you You guys see the difference that the gray plug goes over here by the white plug. I'm gonna just connect to this right here, but we gotta get to the C plug, C101 plug right here, and then we'll drop the ECU with 310s right here, and then that way we can run the harness back through the firewall, and that'll kind of free up mostly everything up top. And then we gotta get to the subframe mount right here. This is 17. 3 14s in the rear, because I'll just let it go with the T-bracket. I'll just drop it with the T-bracket itself. And then we got to get to our axles and half shaft and take the cat off of here. So that's what we're gonna do next. I'm gonna go ahead and start knocking that out, and then we'll come back and see what we gotta do next. All right, so we're back now, and we got the K20 Z1 pulled. This thing kind of was a hassle. This car had a lot of rust. When you get like rusty cars like this, sometimes the bolts just, you know, just are super hard to get out. So you gotta soak it down with WD-40 and, you know, like basically like screw lubricant just to get these things, you know, to come off. So it took us about an extra couple hours just to get this thing. All right, so the K20 Z1 is out. This is the donor. We gotta get this thing cleaned up. I gotta take the transmission off. We are gonna get in Integra Type R or the K20 Type R LSD installed, and then everything will be looked over, and then we'll be cleaning up the motor, taking this apart, doing the timing chain kit on here to make sure everything's fresh, and a couple other things we're gonna have to do is put the K-tune pulley kit. We are gonna run AC on here as well, so we'll be getting the kit from Mitch's Auto Parts. Other than that, we still got to take off the gas tank evap box, but I'll probably just do that in another video to show you guys and show you how we're gonna kind of integrate. I got to check out the MR2, which is actually here now. So this is going to be the donor for this Toyota MR2 Spider, and I've done a couple of them on my channel so far, K24s. If you want to check those videos out, I'll try to link these. I'll put this under the same link as the videos I have on MR2s and my playlist. But yeah, this is a really clean car. I just wanted to show you guys the engine. This engine is for sale. I believe it's the 1ZZ stock engine out of here, and it has very low mileage. Let's check it out. It has a 115, so 115K. And that's pretty decent, and there's no check engine light, it's just an ABS light that's flashing. But the reason why it's kind of loud right now is because it doesn't have a muffler, but see if you can hear it. Everything sounds pretty good, it's good shape. I'll rev it up real fast so you guys can hear it. Yes, I guess I would take it for a test drive, but the transmission is not going into gear right now. So that's the issue with that, but and it's not overheating or anything. Everything's good as far as that. Wish I could take it for a test drive, but unfortunately that's the only problem. Is the transmission is kind of shot on this car. So either next video, we're gonna get to pretty much taking apart the other. We'll be taking apart the engine, putting a new transmission LSD on there, and then we'll be taking apart this motor as well. And then if anybody is interested in this engine, you can hit me up at honda.mike1988@gmail.com, or you can hit me up on Instagram at rarewooded_. Either way, I'll respond to you, or just leave a comment. I'll respond pretty quick when I see my comments. And yeah, like I said, this motor is for sale, 115K miles. Runs smooth, idles perfect. no check engine lights or anything on with it. So yeah, this will be hopefully the first K20Z1 Spider that'll be California barred. At least if not the first one on video with proof and everything. So stay tuned, guys. This one's gonna be another cool one. Like I said, it's the first K20 MRS that I've done, MR2 that I've done. The other ones were K24. So if you guys want to see the progress on those other ones, and I went through the full build, you can check those out too as well. Other than that, stay tuned, guys, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Alright, so now it's time. This is going to be the MR2, as you guys seen, and it's time to take this motor out of here as well. So I know you have to take the back bumper off. I've done a couple of these so far. So I'm going to start by taking off this bar just to get access to everything. Then we'll get to the battery, the intake, so that'll clear out a lot of more space. And then we'll start attacking the bumper, and I believe the tail lights might have to come off as well. But yeah, let's get this thing out of here so we can start getting this thing prepped up for the K20Z1. And then I can actually check out all the evap gas to see how I'm gonna actually wire it up and run the ports to the gas tank and everything. So we'll go ahead and start getting into that, and we'll come back. All right, so we got the tail lights off, the rear bumper off. I got the heat shielding off from the exhaust, batteries taken out, and the intake. And then I disconnected the brake booster line, the evap, and another evap line, I guess, from the intake. Next we're gonna get to is probably let's get this bracketing for the battery tray out of the way, so we'll have more space as well. And then I'm gonna take off this heat shield right here, and then start probably getting to the exhaust manifold, so if we can get this exhaust out of here with the resonator, and disconnect this O2 sensor. Yeah, let's get to that, and then we'll come back and see what we're gonna do next. Alright, so we're back now. Let's go over what we did so far. So got the battery tray out the way. I disconnected the shift linkage. They're just the cotter pins, and then they pretty much pop up out the way. I took the wiring harness off of the ECU from the inside already. I got the ground off right here on the transmission, and the ground off over here. And I started taking off the exhaust manifold, but it's kind of hard to get to right now with the axle half shaft in the way with the bottom brackets. So I just kind of skipped over that. And right now, I also disconnected all the radiator hoses. So the heater hose right here, and the radiator hose this one we're gonna reuse with the reservoir right here. So this is all gonna be reused right here. I also started disconnecting the AC lines, so the two back there, those two tins, I disconnected those. They'll be going right back because we'll be using that AC pump as well, and putting AC on this car. And got to get to the suspension right now. So we got the axle popped out, almost ready to drop the subframe pretty much. So we're gonna get the other side of the axle off. The subframe will drop down, and then we'll start disconnecting the mounts. And then we gotta get rid of the slave cylinder. Can't really see it back there, but the slave cylinder line. We'll get to that. I disconnected the throttle cable already. It's pretty simple. You just have to disconnect the nut right here, and then it'll slide right out. It'll pop right out. Other than that, yeah, after we get the subframe down, and then we can start attacking the motor mounts. And I think that's pretty much it. Oh, and the fuel line. So I gotta take off the fuel line too as well, right here, and the slave line, and pretty much drop the subframe and get to the mounts. And I think that's pretty much gonna be it. And then we can end the video after that. All right, so the engine is out. This is the 1ZZ motor. If anybody is interested in this engine, very low mileage, you could check this video. We'll have the car running and everything at the beginning. But yeah, I was just trying to do some prep work on here, clean it up a little bit, and we'll pretty much start getting the motor ready on the other one. We got to do the timing chain, and then we got to upgrade the LSD. Make sure the tranny's all fresh. Even though we drove it good, just go over it just to make sure. But yeah, this is pretty much it though. Both motors are out from the RSX to the donor, and this car is ready to go. The transmission was bad on here, so the transmission won't be for sale. Probably recycle it. We got the cat here, and then we got the axles and cold air intake if anybody's interested. Also have the ECU with wiring. Other than that, stay tuned guys for the next video. We'll be taking apart the transmission and getting ready to send that in, and then doing some prep work on here, and yeah, we'll go from there and see what we got to do. But stay tuned, and I'll see you guys in the next video.